Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Republicans see some big wins during Election Day across our region, holding seats and gaining new ones. Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris. It's just before 5 o'clock here. It was a busy day yesterday for us here at WYMT, and don't worry, if you somehow did not get any of your Election Day results, we're getting ready to break them down for you. But first, we're going to break down the weather for you this morning. And Brandon, it's a bit chilly outside.
Yes, Dakota, we've got a lot to talk about today because we've got a lot of things coming up not only today, but tomorrow night, and Friday. Let's take a look at temperatures this morning. You'll see a few sensors out, but generally in the 30s, 40s, and 50s out there. It looks like 30s. Let me look again here right quick. Looks like 36 in Manchester is our cold spot this morning, but Clintwood is out. And then you see it looks like 55 in Harlan is the warm spot this morning. So again, a lot of contrast there. Here's something I want to show you because this is going to play a big role here a little bit later today. Not a lot of wind, but you see some decent breezes out there today. It's already very dry. There's already lots of forest fires out there already. We'll show you a new one this morning, and it's also a very low dew point. So low dew points and low humidity levels can make fires travel very fast. So we do not encourage any burning today. There is a red flag warning we'll tell you about here in just a few minutes. But getting you out the door first, temperature's a bit cool out there. We'll be in the 40s for most of us and heading into the low 70s today. Enjoy the next couple of days temperature-wise because some big changes are coming as we head toward the weekend. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Election Day was a very victorious day for many Republicans in Kentucky. U.S. Senator Rand Paul has been reelected to his third term in office. He fended off a challenge from former state representative Charles Booker, who also previously ran for Senate in the Democratic primary against Amy McGrath in 2020. Senator Paul was first elected in 2010.
When I return to the Senate as chairman, I promise you this, the COVID cover-up will end. Yeah. And I promise you this, I will subpoena every last scrap of paper from our friend, Dr. Fauci.
Our victory is that people have stood up across Kentucky that had given up. People that once thought that their voice didn't matter are now lifting their voices and organizing and running for office. We are the change, and that's the win. From the hood to the holler is about regular people standing. And we have taken that stand.
U.S. Representative and Dean of the House Hal Rogers easily won his 22nd term in Congress. Congressman Rogers defeated Connor Halbleib in the newcomer's quest to become the first Democrat to represent Kentucky's 5th House District since 1963. Rogers has represented the 5th District since 1981. Incumbent Republican Andy Barr faced off against challenger Jeff Young for the 6th District U.S. House seat, and he was reelected for his 6th term in Congress. Challenger Jeff Young has caused controversy with his statements this election cycle, including praising the leaders of Russia and China.
The reason why the Republican Party is now the majority party in Kentucky is that the Republican Party agenda and our values match the values of the people of Kentucky. Look, I think a two-party system is a good thing.
Well, Barr says he is focused on reducing inflation and crime in his next term. Republican Brandon Smith easily held on to the 30th District Senate seat. He defeated Democrat Sid Allen. Smith and some of his friends gathered at Rudy's in downtown Hazard last night. He talked about what it means to represent his district.
But I think I've been to every single one of these sites out there. I don't know that there's another official that's done that from day one. Have beaten myself up and literally exhausted myself to make sure that those people that feel like nobody's listening to them, or you'll say they haven't seen anybody but Brandon Smith came here. So I do want people to know that somebody does know you're out there and somebody is helping you. And tonight's vote was a group of people that understood that.
Well, he first won the 30th District Senate seat in 2008. He previously served in the State House from 2001 to 2008. In the 84th District, Republican incumbent Chris Fugit easily defeats his Democratic challenger Teresa Napier Combs. In the 85th district, Republican Shane Baker runs away, carrying more than 80% of the vote against Democrat Brian Vaught. And a similar story in the 87th district, where incumbent Adam Bowling won re-election. The Republican defeated Democrat Gary Smith. Over in the 89th district, Republican Timmy Truitt remains his seat. Truitt carried 81% of his vote against his Democratic challenger, Brittany Porter Oliver. And in the 91st district, Republican incumbent Bill Wesley held a narrower margin but still easily defeated Democrat Martina Jackson. Republican Jacob Justice will be the new 94th district representative in the State House. Taking one of the 2 Democratic seats for Eastern Kentuckians in the House of Representatives. Justice says it was a long 300+ days preparing for Election Day, but overall he says he is honored and excited to be a voice for the people in the 94th district.
The overall feeling would probably be honor to be the representative for the 94th district. It's my home, it's the people I care about, and it's just overwhelming right now.
Well, Angie Hatton was the incumbent and served as the House Minority Whip. Hatton said in an interview with WYMT, quote, "I wish Jacob Justice well because his success will be the success of Eastern Kentucky, and I will continue helping Eastern Kentucky every way I can," end quote. And there was a bright spot for Democrats. Incumbent Ashley Tackett Lafferty held on to the 95th district seat. She faced opposition from Republican Brandon Spencer. You might remember Spencer. He served as a state representative beginning in 2007 before resigning from the post. Tackett Lafferty will continue serving Floyd and a part of Pike County for another 2-year term. And a seat in the Senate House Democrats hope to pick up will remain red. Rocky Atkins held the 99th district House seat for the Democrats for years. However, when he gave the seat up to join the Beshear administration, Republican Richard White snatched it up. The incumbent, White, held off a challenge by Democrat Kevin Anderson. The seat serves Elliott, Morgan, and Rowan counties. Well, thank you so much for getting your Wednesday morning started with the Sierra Mountain News this morning. Coming up, the latest mission by NASA is delayed once again due to some incoming severe weather down in Florida. Stay with us. That's next.
And our forecast continues to stay very fluid, pun intended, for the weekend. But so far, dry weather continues as we head toward the end of the week. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.